I'm Jiang, Associate Professor of Geography from University of Hawaii at Manoa, and I'm here on Fulbright in Taiwan. National Taiwan University, I would say three things. It's a beautiful campus, great programs, and they're great to visitors. In terms of great programs, not only geography, which is a department I'm affiliated with, but I also find connections with colleagues in other departments, including horticulture, in terms of tea processing, philosophy, and Chinese literature. So it's a great rounded program there. My project is on tea and culture in Taiwan, and in particular, I'm looking at the interface between nature and culture through this object of tea, and especially the transformation of the physical leaves into a cultural taste. So tea is actually a perfect object of both the nature and culture because it's coming from nature, nurtured by nature, but also is made into a cultural taste. In Alishan, I was looking at how this physical leaves were turned into a cultural taste in a very specific form. And so that whole process is just really amazing. It involves many different factors. It involves the skills of the tea processors, it involves the customers, the society's need for or aspiration for particular tastes. I describe the trip as amazing, and I say, wow. I went there at the end of the winter tea processing season. And I didn't have really a plan yet because I saw the time was important. And I had one person receiving me, Uncle New, who I met 2 years ago on a trip to Taiwan. And then from there, I was basically just open to exploration, to understanding tea and culture and the people in Alishan. And I've met with just beautiful people, wonderful scenery, and every step of the way, it was just amazing in terms of what I learned about the place, about both tea and culture, and also Taiwanese history. Just because when I get to know people, and a lot of people also speak Taiwanese, and they were so kind to explain to me if they speak Cantonese because I only speak Mandarin. When I send the photos back to the US, people are saying, wow, this is paradise. And then when I describe to people, especially people in the US, how friendly people were in Alishan, they were just saying, that's just amazing. It's wonderful beyond any expectation. So tea is a really perfect embodiment of both nature and culture. And the relationship between nature and culture is very important for people of all cultures, including Taiwan, including the US, including everybody in the world. So I'm hoping to gain something that's universally applied, and the more we share in the world, the better the world becomes, the more peaceful the world becomes. I came here first for the first 3 weeks of quarantine, especially the first 2 weeks. I was in the hotel room, I couldn't go out. I can hear among the different sounds, this music playing from maybe a truck or something. This music, Maiden's Prayer, that I could hear from the hotel room on a daily basis. I was really curious. I was thinking that whatever truck that had that music must be selling something really interesting. Maybe ice cream, maybe some kind of desserts or something. One day I got out of the subway and I heard that music again, the Maiden's Prayer. I followed to make sure I tracked down that whatever vehicle that had that music. I was really surprised and amused to find it was a garbage truck. And how culturally civilized Taiwanese people are with the classical music for the garbage truck. On a side note, I'm actually very, very impressed by the environmental protection, by the recycling programs. I'm really impressed by the recycling programs in Taiwan. That's amazing in terms of recycling and separation of a different good. I say to people, even when I'm here, that Taiwan is what I find to be the best place to live in the world, in all the places I've been. It's so friendly, so convenient, a great culture, and it's a paradise of food and tea. From a few years ago, I started to want to study tea and culture in Taiwan. I made it a brief trip 2 years ago, and then last year I received Fulbright, couldn't come because of COVID. So this year I'm so happy to be here. I feel like I've waited about a year and a half and 3 weeks because of the quarantine to be able to live freely in Taiwan. I was so determined to use every opportunity that I had to explore, to study, to learn, to collaborate, and I feel like I've fulfilled all of those goals and beyond. In terms of building knowledge, a great opportunity to learn about tea and contacting tea farmers, learning from them, and colleagues from different universities, and building relationships with the National Taiwan University, and also a few other universities, including National University, Daiye University, and some other colleagues. And also, my being here also helped to build long-term collaborative relationships, both in terms of research and teaching. A colleague who was also a Fulbrighter told me when I was applying, and she said, well, you will be rejuvenated. And I feel like I'm more than rejuvenated. I'm just so excited. I will be back again.